Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast. Critically harsh reviews with a touch of class.
My name's Jerry. This is
Gaby.
Yeah, that's Gaby.
This is me.
That's right.
You can find us on all the stuff.
boardgamesnobs.com and all that other stuff. We'd like to thank who sponsored. No, we don't have any sponsors, but we got featured on Podbean.
Yeah.
And then we got like 3 new listeners. It's nice.
We did pretty good.
Yeah. Well, we're not living it up.
We're not in the big leagues just yet.
But one thing that did occur, we got fan mail. This was from Jay Garrison. He says, "Hello. Good morning / afternoon / evening. I'm not sure when you'll be reading this.
6:35 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Already a better opener than what I did.
On a Sunday. What were you even talking about?
Well, I'm going to segue into that. Oh, my God. Just hold on. I found your podcast on Spotify. I just want to say thank you.
Spotify? I didn't know we was on there.
We are. And then I look forward to
Just
listening
kidding,
to you two go back and forth talking about board games and random topics and the laughter. Thank you for entertaining me during
Which laughter? My wheezy one?
Yeah, your wheezy laughter. Thank you for entertaining me during my workday. Your last podcast where you talked about animal groupings made me laugh quite a few times. That was just me being random. My animal groupings.
It's random, man.
That was nice. That being said, you mentioned fantasy is not your style. Do you have any plans on playing Gloomhaven?
Nope.
Or is it out because of the style of the game it is? Anyways, blah, 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 blah.
Actually, we just kind of played one, but we'll get to that next
Fantasy?
week. No, we're not big on fantasy.
Why is that? I think it's mainly because I don't like the whole... Well, here's why. When I play a game, I like to be grounded in reality. It's like I need to imagine that I'm able to do this.
Oh, yeah?
And the games that I do, I feel like...
The games that you what?
Yeah, the games that I play. I feel like I'm able... I like that theme. It's hard for me to imagine to go riding some bird and be flying.
What bird are you going to ride?
I'm thinking about Tail Feathers, that game where you're rats and you ride birds and shoot arrows at each other.
I've never heard of that.
You've never heard of Tail Feathers?
No.
You've never heard
I've shaken mine. But I've never played the game.
That's not. Who is that?
That's Nelly.
That was Nelly?
I think so.
Don't look it up, please.
I'm not. I'm just looking it up.
Already. Oh, that's the last thing we need.
Welcome to our musical podcast.
We don't need the East Coast on us too. We already got Nickelback and what's her name?
Inya.
Yeah, she's all up in your business.
Nelly. Yeah, I was right.
Wow,
I know my stuff.
Your knowledge of '90s rap pop culture.
Yes, it's very extensive.
No, Nelly was like early 2000s.
He kind of was. Nelly's kind of like out now.
Is he?
Yeah. Name the most recent Nelly song.
I don't even know him. Was he the guy that had the Band-Aid on his face?
Yes.
That's all I remember.
Strategically placed.
A strategically placed Band-Aid.
That's good. Kind of like the one sock that LL Cool J did. You remember that? He pulled up the one sock, or the one pat leg was like pulled up. You remember that?
No.
Really?
Didn't know that. I never knew that about LL Cool J. I do know that he got fired as a rapper, and now he's working with NCIS down in Miami.
Never watched it. But I did like him in Deep Blue Sea.
Nah, he was the chef.
Yes, with the bird.
With the bird.
Yeah.
The bird got eaten.
It's good.
Oh, spoilers. Sorry. What were we talking about?
Deep Blue Sea. Way better than the Meg, by the way.
Oh, there. Crossover.
The Meg.
Haven't got to watch the Meg.
I enjoy Jason Statham, but just go ahead and make Sharknado.
Here's what I know about...
It's a high-budget Sharknado wannabe that wasn't near as good.
Here's what I know about Jason Statham. Okay, you ready for this?
Gotta go.
He was actually he's an Olympic swimmer or Olympic dive team. Like he is actually highly trained as a diver and a swimmer. Like to the Olympic level. Somebody Wikipedia that. But yeah, he's good. Okay. He's the real deal.
Clickety-clack. Can't find nothing.
You didn't actually Wikipedia. But anyways, enough about Jason Statham.
He's a Londoner, by the way. That's where he gets his accent from.
Right. I want to talk about a good game we just played.
Don't just dismiss me like that. That was a fact.
You're like a fat Jason Statham.
Jaden Statham?
Yeah, that's what you are. You're a fat Jason Statham.
How dare you?
Yeah, that's what you are.
Do you ever worry about hurting my feelings someday?
Nope, never do. It never crosses my mind. It is literally something that I do not wonder about at all. As a matter of fact, at times when I think to myself, what's the harshest thing I can say? And then I go a step further and I say that next thing. And I think to myself, man, that was cold.
You are a sorry sucker.
Oh,
That's
yes.
okay.
It's okay. You love me anyway.
I can take it, and I do love you.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Okay. Let's keep it going here. Cut the tension with a knife.
All right, you bought this game. I told you not to.
Which one?
Yokohama.
All right, go. Yokohama.
Yokohama.
Engage.
Which is designed by Hayashi. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that.
I would say probably not.
He's a Japanese designer. Now, I did not know him as a Japanese designer or a designer.
What did you know him as?
I just knew him as just a regular guy on Board Game Geek that occasionally I seen that he posts some questions on some forums. That's it. You know, when you look at Board Game Geek and they have that tag on their name that says game designer and you wonder, oh, are they really a game designer? Or did they like make some goofy card game years back and now they're just living it up thinking that they're an actual game designer?
Right.
Right. So,
like I did a tic-tac-toe grid. I'm a game designer.
You are.
Plagiarist.
You did 3-player tic-tac-toe. I love that. That was a great game.
9 across and 9 down.
Never caught on.
It's good stuff.
Sadness.
It depressed me.
Sad. So he designed a game called Yokohama, which Yokohama is apparently some sort of...
It was called tick, 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 tack, 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 toe, 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 toe.
Are we still on that?
I thought we was.
It wasn't even a funny joke.
Oh, like you? Okay, I'll cut that.
You got to cut that because that was that was your
what
comebacks.
Comebacks? I don't have to come back.
You don't have to come back because you ain't ever going to get back.
Oh, we're going to cut that one too.
No,
because that wasn't nothing.
That was Sue. Everything I do is something, and
That's
everything
terrible.
I do it for you.
Brian Adams.
Brian Adams.
The greatest Canadian singer of all time. If you don't count Celine Dion.
Oh, yeah. I was about to throw out Celine.
Oh, I thought you were fixing to throw out Justin Bieber.
No, we need to throw out Justin
Brian.
Bieber.
We didn't throw him out. Brian Adams is my favorite male Canadian singer. Top 5 Canadian singers, go.
Brian Adams.
Celine Dion. Brian Adams. Justin Bieber.
No.
Jim Carrey.
No.
Michael J. Fox.
Is he Canadian?
Yes.
Yes. I didn't know that.
He's a Canadian treasure. Oh, righty then.
He is. I didn't know that. Back to the reason we're here.
What's that?
Yokohama.
Okay. Go ahead. Let's get serious.
So the theme of Yokohama is not that interesting at all.
What would the theme be?
It's not. It doesn't have a theme. You're like a fishing village, and you're running around making money.
You're a economist
in a fishing village. Yes.
Yes.
So, if you're familiar with a game called Istanbul, which won the Spiel des Jahres unworthily a few years back because it stole it from Concordia, I believe, back in 2011, 2013, somewhere around that time.
That's what I heard.
Istanbul is a game where you set out tiles, overgrown tiles, and then you have your workers, and they bounce around going to adjacent tiles, leaving assistants behind, and doing those actions. The reason I bring up Istanbul is that a lot of people say Yokohama is exactly like Istanbul.
No, who says that?
Literally,
how is that possible?
Everybody on Board Game Geek says
how is it even possible?
The
only thing similar is that you have assistants and you leave a trail.
That's enough.
But everything else... Well, I mean, you got the resources, but that's
it's kind of like saying since you're bald and you like water, you're just like Jason Statham. I mean, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
There you go.
I am. Gotta go.
That does not sound.
Look out for this megalodon.
That does not sound like
that.
Him.
Does too.
It does sound nothing like him.
Very close.
You're embarrassing yourself.
You're embarrassing me.
You sound like an Australian.
I do.
Anyways, Yokohama. I was blown away by it.
You're welcome.
For what? For buying it? After I told you not to?
Yes.
You buy stuff random. Like,
yes, you did.
You're like 10 for 1.
You told me many a time not to buy it. I'd be like, Jerry, what about this one?
It looks fiddly. And it is.
Jerry, what about this one? No.
It's terrible. It's fiddly, and the color scheme I don't like.
You have to buy a bunch of stuff to find the jewels.
Well, you found the jewel here. All right, well, Yokohama. Tell them what you do in Yokohama. No, okay. No, all right.
Oh, I'm excellent at telling you what you do.
Yeah, tell them what you do.
Okay.
Go ahead, take off.
We have this president dude that is your main, that's your action taker. But you also have assistant. And then you have all these stores you can go to, kind of, sort of.
Districts.
So you lay your assistants down. You can do up to 3. So you can put 1 in 3 different places or 2 in one place. But you can't do 1 and then 2 in one place.
That would be stupid.
So it's either 1 apiece or 2 in one spot.
Thank you for clarifying.
You want to build up the amount.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. How do you explain this game?
In order to do some of the abilities, you have to have so much presence there.
Presence?
Presence. So if you have 2 assistants there, and then you move your president there, 2 plus 1 is 3. Wow. So then you look down at the chart. What can you do with 3? Well, you can do this action. You can also, throughout the game, just assign assistants to these locations and build them up so that you can get up to a power of 5. Or you can build a... What's the little house thing called?
Shop.
You can build a shop. That counts. That's a constant presence. So if you put 2 assistants, you have built a house, you move the president there. When I have a power of 4, then it allows you to do things. You get more things the more presence you have. Once you do your ability, you move all your assistants out of the way. They're gone. They've done their job. President stays behind, looking for his next shop to go into.
That's not inaccurate.
Oh, man.
It's not inaccurate. You want that high power, like the highest power or presence, as Gaby calls it, and an area is like 5, kind of like Captain Planet. Power of, is that a thing?
Never watched it.
You never watched Captain Planet?
I hated Captain Planet with every fiber of my being. I'm all about pollution.
Okay.
Bring on the acid rain.
That was perhaps a bad analogy. But the 5 power, like you're basically placing assistants strategically throughout the board and then moving your worker around, and you have to have a route. You have to be able to move your president from one area to the next, and he has to have...
Route or route?
I say route.
I say route.
When you have a...
Route 66. Route 60. But they say Route 66.
I know, but those are hillbillies.
Oh.
You have to have assistants on each little shop that you go to, or each little district, to be able to move your president through it. And so you're like making kind of a route that you're going through, and you can go to a certain area and then use those particular assistants and your president to be able to use whatever power. And like you said, if you just have a power of 1, you get to take that action, but it's not as powerful. So it's like collecting 1 fish instead of 5 fish, or being able to research so much technology. I have trouble explaining this game.
It's difficult.
Especially
just audio.
Yeah, you have to see it to believe it because it's very replayable. The replayability, is that the word?
Yes.
Was it?
Variability?
Variability. That's what I was looking for. Each game, you shuffle up these tiles and you put them out, and they're different. The location's different. What they're worth is different. The cards that you put out, everything about it is something new each and every game. We played it twice, back to back.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And then you know what? That may be the second time we've ever done that.
Yeah, there is rarely a game that we play. I think in Barony.
I've done it with Barony.
Done it with Barony.
But a game has to really get us. We're like, okay, what's next? Even if we like it, it's kind of like, let's play something different. But Yokohama, we're like, this is awesome.
This is what got me about Yokohama, is that I pride myself on being able to plan things out and to be able to come up with a good strategy
long term.
Even then, the first game I beat you by a little bit, by
about 10. I got it.
The next game, it was even tighter, and that's what I like. I like to where that there's so much that you can do in a game, but yet the game is directed.
The first game was 67 to 82.
Okay, what was the second game?
The second game was 121 to 125.
Wow.
4 points.
See? I mean, that's what I like.
But, go ahead.
I like that we play the game and that it is so close. Like, I feel like we're right on top of each other, almost about to, yes, it's good.
And I like that the second game, we got this. We increased our score quite a bit.
Right.
Now, we just played it 2-player. You said you're not sure if you want to play it. And I heard that it's a good 2-player game.
The game expands.
I would like to play it 3-player.
The board expands with more tiles, 3 and 4-player. It looks like a mess and eats up a lot of table space with 4 players. A 2-player game, this game's awesome. This is probably...
Here we go.
Okay.
He's fixing to make a broad grand statement.
There you go. When I think of worker placements, which I'm going to call this a worker placement because that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's worker placement.
I can't go where your president's at.
Yeah, worker placement, resource management.
Or action selection. Well, I mean, all these games are a lot of stuff nowadays. Action selection, worker placement, resource management.
Which makes this a Euro game in my book.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Super Euro. I think that this...
Here we go.
I have a top 5 of Euro games I keep in the back of my head.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure.
I'm trying to rack my brain if there's 5 games ahead of it, but I'm pretty sure this is probably creeping in.
Lorenzo's
good. Lorenzo's as good as it gets.
Okay.
Love Lorenzo.
So Lorenzo's still your number
I
one?
love Lorenzo.
Number one, Euro or worker placement?
I'm not going to say.
Okay.
That's for a future.
That's another podcast.
Well, I haven't thought about it.
All right. I was going to say something else.
It's right up there, though. It's one of my favorite Euros.
The playability as far as other people usually is just me and Jerry.
And
often it's me, Jerry, and Enrique. Every now and then we're able to get somebody else with us and play a 4 or 5 or 6 player game. So usually we tend to lean towards the 2-3 player games.
Right.
And Enrique is with us. And I think this would do good at 3. At 4, you were doing something else. You were kind of distracted. And so I was like waiting on you to make your move. At 4 players, I could see that being frustrating.
But the deal is on a 2-player game, even a 3-player game, the turns on this are fast.
If you're ready to go, yes.
You are ready to go.
But there was some AP, especially
yes.
But, that's what I was going to say. I love this game because, Jerry is able to look at a game and pick his path to victory.
I'm all about that.
I look at a game and I'm like, what do I do?
Something shiny going over here.
I'm like super analysis paralysis. I don't know what to do. I'm just kind of doing crap until I finish the game and I'm like, okay, so that's how it works. This game, there's these different tracks. There's the faith track.
Church.
There's, what's the other one?
That is imports.
Imports.
Which I hate games that have tracks.
There's several different ways to victory. This is one of the first games I ever said, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. And I just leaned into it, went into it, and I was ahead of you most of the game. Then you hit that one big one on the tech track and shot you up there, and you beat me.
Here's what I'm saying about Yokohama. It is everything I hate in board gaming. It's fiddly. I don't like that it takes up a lot of space. I don't like it's very odd. The way that they have the action set up and the turns, it takes a second for you to understand really what's taking. How do you take a turn? Yeah. It's not straightforward.
No, it's a point salad. And you hate point salad.
I hate point salads. And when somebody,
I don't like salads. Period.
It's obvious.
When there's
out there. What? I didn't say that.
You said obvious.
I didn't say obvious.
I
said oblivious. I didn't know what you're saying. But there's
I'm going to go on a fast. By the way.
Yeah, I heard about that. Why don't you just go live and say you're going to go on a fast for a month?
If I do a month-long fast, I'm going to open up Patreon and people donate.
Nobody's going to donate to your Patreon.
And I want to fast for a month. You think I can do it?
I have no faith in you. You have no self-control.
No, I do not.
And nor
That's why I'm surrounded in a room full of games.
Yes.
Self-control.
And if we sound a slightly smidgen clearer on this podcast, it's because we have new microphones.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
I bought some Samsung. Not Samsung. Samsung.
Samsung?
No, Samson. Samson.
Wow.
Q2Us.
Q2U?
When I looked up good podcasting, but moderately priced microphones, I'm always referred to the ATR 2100s. Most people won't care about this, but I do.
Nobody cares about this. Nobody cares.
But there's a microphone called ATR 2100. I've had it in my cart forever. Well, finally I looked on Amazon and it said, compared to this. So I clicked on it. It's like these Samsung Q2Us. They were like $15 cheaper.
That's how they got you.
I bought them. Just when they clicked it, bought, done. My wife and I had a discussion in which I told her that Jerry was pretty much the buyer of them.
Yes.
So, Jerry, if you want to send some PayPal, I appreciate that.
Oh.
I only need about $100.
You're broke.
We'll be good. So, we got some new microphones. I got some new games, some expansions.
Oh.
I love to spend that money.
Okay. Well,
so how do we get off on that?
I don't know.
Self-control?
Self-control,
my
planning,
diet.
these type things.
Yeah.
Yokohama. I'm
a man of impulse.
Yes,
this is my deal.
Yes.
I'm a man of impulse in every facet of my life. And I play that way as well.
Yes.
I just like
very little thought.
I don't think
thought. Which just shocked me that, number one, I was able to explain Yokohama to you.
Oh, yeah.
And that you were able to pick it up so quickly.
I'm super smart.
And that we stayed. I mean, we did good.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody got blown away.
No.
Each time.
I was ahead of you, but we were neck and neck the whole time.
Yeah.
But then, like, at the last minute, you're like, bam, 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 and you zoomed ahead of me by 15 points.
This game has everything I generally hate in a board game.
And even though you were ahead by 15 points, it wasn't like you blew me away. No. It was like that was a last-minute thing.
It was a last-minute thing. This game has everything I hate in a board game, but yet I love it.
It is
a TMG game, which TMG makes a lot of good games.
Knocking them out of the park.
I've been very disappointed in some of TMG's games here lately.
Let me look at my room, see what we got. TMG, Guilds of London.
Which I enjoy.
We enjoy that. Again. TMG, Orleans.
Which you enjoy.
You used to enjoy it.
It's okay.
We need to play it again with the expansions I brought, see what happens. Gold West is your TMG baby. That's your original love.
Yes, it is. I love that thing. But either way.
Okay.
Yokohama.
You tend to gesture and stuff a lot on the table, and I think maybe causes vibrations, etc., especially for mine. You're very handsy. But go ahead. Gold West. Good. Wait. Let's restart.
I'm not talking about anything else besides Yokohama.
Gold West is a gem.
Yokohama is another gem, which I am ashamed to say that I have avoided for quite some time. It has been out. It was a big deal last year. I avoided it because it looked like a hot mess. Quite frankly, it is yeah.
I wish I had got the deluxe version with gold metal coins.
It's not that. I'm not.
I looked at metal coins. You know how much they are? You know how much they want just for the coins?
$30.
Almost $25.
There you go. Here's what I don't like about deluxe board games. This is what I don't like about deluxe board
Tell
games.
me what you don't like.
It gets people like
Tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
It gets people like you who think they have to have this metal coins.
That's what I'm talking about. Clinkety, clinkety,
Why don't you just buy one set of metal coins? Wait a minute. You have like multiple set of metal coins and just transfer them from game to game.
Because they're often different. Like the viticulture coins are like 5s and 1s.
Just put the ones in and just use ones.
I don't want to. Because then you got to transfer.
Oh, yeah. That'd be too hard on you, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That'd be too hard on you.
It is too hard.
Jason's Steakhouse.
Gotta go.
Jason's Steakhouse. It was like Outback Steakhouse.
You remember this whole time?
I have. I spent the last 20 minutes trying to think of a good burn there, and that was the best I could do. Man,
I can't wait till his movie with The Rock. It's an offshoot of Fast and Furious. Did you know that?
What was it called?
I don't know. It's just the offshoot.
There's an offshoot of Fast and Furious? What's it called?
It's going to be. They haven't made it yet.
Slow and Irritated? What is it?
Okay, well, let me start. Let me go back. No.
Look, I did not realize this. Before anybody gets any excited about it here, Gaby is like the biggest Fast and the Furious fan there has ever lived.
Oh, yes.
I have watched one Fast and the Furious.
Please tell me which one it was.
It was the greatest one I've ever seen.
Which one?
I loved it. As a matter of fact,
are you serious?
Yes.
Are you joking?
No, I loved it. I watched it. I fell in love with it, and I actually went out and drifted.
That makes sense.
Tokyo Drift. I loved it. Love Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift is good.
Yes, and then I went out and tried to watch the others, and I don't get it.
Really?
It's terrible.
Really?
I can't stand it.
See, most people would say Too Fast, Too Furious threw them off. But Tokyo Drift is different. It's a completely different group of people.
It was great.
I like Tokyo Drift. It's very good.
You just go around drifting.
You got to go with the number one.
Oh, no.
But see, I watched it in the theater at the time, and I was like, yeah.
No. This is why I don't talk about this.
I love Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious is the greatest movie series of all time.
Do not look down upon us because you said that. That is not my opinion.
People agree.
Now, do not. Why is there not a Fast and Furious board game?
Excuse me? Why is there fixing to be 9 Fast and Furious movies? Because people love them.
No, they just keep.
They don't want to admit it, but they love it. No, are you kidding me? They made $1 billion worldwide.
No,
they are incredible. Oh, God, go.
Enough. It's enough. Yokohama. Wait. Let me finish a thought.
Okay.
You've been derailing me. Yokohama.
Don't stop me.
If you're looking for a good Euro.
We are.
If you're tired of old worker placements. If you want just something different. Yokohama. I cannot recommend it highly enough.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Another game for which you have bought twice. I see it on our shelf twice. Is called Targi.
I believe it's Targi. I watched somebody's video playthrough. They said Targi.
I think Targi is the way they pronounce it in German, which was your previous copy that you bought at random off Amazon without reading the description.
I didn't read
it. And then tried to get me to translate it to German. You know when they say
read the fine print?
Yes.
I should have read the fine print.
Well, Targi just got released by Cosmos. It's a 2-player worker placement. Everybody gripes about it.
I've heard about Targi, whatever it's called. I've heard about this game for a long time. Best 2-player worker placement. All right, I'm going to check it out. I searched it out. It was out of print. Found it on Amazon. Bought it. Got it. It was in German.
Sprechen die Deutsch. We do not.
I tried forever. I found and there are people translating it, and I printed off these things and cut them out and slid them in, but it's very difficult. We just never played it. I probably had this game for at least 3 years in my collection. Never played it.
And every time I take it off the shelf, I'm like, oh, hey. And then realize it's in German.
It should have tipped me off when it's for zwei Spieler, which apparently means 2-player.
Well, this is the best first watch Spieler I've ever played. I can tell you right now. I didn't think it was going to be that fun.
First watch Spieler.
Because with a 2-player game, with any type of 2-player game, it's very dependent on the player interaction. Because that's really what you're doing. It is a player interaction. So in this game, you have a grid of cards, and along the edge is where you place your main little worker.
Yes.
And then after you end up placing 2 of them, they intersect
on
the grid, and that's where you place your marker. Okay, that's your card that you're going to get to use.
That reminds me of if you played Forbidden Desert, and you flip over those 2 things that tell you where the piece of your plane is.
Yeah.
You have a vertical, and you have a horizontal. And wherever they intersect, you flip that over. Where in Targi, whichever one it is, for the podcast's sake, we're going to say Targi.
Targi?
Because that's probably wrong. You set your guy on the edge. I think that's your Targi.
Mm-hmm.
I just said we was going to say Targi. I said Targi. Whatever. You set your 2 dudes on the edge. You go to the intersect. That's yours as well. So you get 1, 2, 3. You get 4 actions and 5 actions on your turn.
Well, actually, what is in that? You're only placing 3 workers on this grid, and where they intersect, the 2 places that those 3 workers intersect are where you place your other markers, realizing those are the things that you're going to get to pick up. You take up the resources on those 5 areas, and then you utilize them to do mainly buy cards. Very similar to how Century Spice Road goes, but much more intuitive. You're paying the cost for these cards that you're picking up and putting them out, and again, after you've picked them up and played them, you're playing them to your own tableau and you're making your own kind of grid. So it's somewhat set collection. You get 4 of a kind or 1 of each, and you get extra points at the end of the game. A 2-player game should not be. It should be highly interactive. And worker placements tend to be highly interactive. Targi, I found you eat up the board space pretty quickly. Even if you don't intend to mess the other player up, you end up doing so. And so you have to really think out your turns. It's not one of those games that I was just clamoring to play again, but I must say I enjoyed it a lot more than what I thought I would. It's I don't know. I think it's one of those that I think it's a classic. It feels like an old game to me. Like when I played it, it made me really feel like it was such an old game.
Yeah. Question.
Yes.
My chair. Sorry. Let me go ahead and get comfortable. Would you prefer Targi or Raptor?
No, Targi.
Really?
Targi.
It does feel old.
It does feel old. I will say that in terms of 2-player games, and I know it's not a worker placement, but one of my favorite 2-player, only 2-player games, is Hanaka Noji.
Yeah.
I love Hanaka Noji.
You're not saying that right, but yes.
Hanaka Noji?
I'll have to find it to see it.
Well, either way.
I have Jaipur. In my collection, I have strictly 2-player. Jaipur, Lost Cities, in the realm of Targi, not counting like Star Wars Destiny.
Right.
Targi, what the ones you just said?
Holmes and Watson.
Holmes and Watson, I actually loved, and I kind of want to play that again because I've kind of forgotten it because I have a very short memory span. Strictly 2-player?
We just don't do a lot of 2-player, and that's why I always balk when they say, oh, it's a 2-player game.
Yeah.
I frown at that. I just don't.
It's tough to have a good 2-player game, but Jaipur and Targi are pretty neck and neck for me.
I think Hanaka Noji is probably my favorite.
I forgot about that one.
But Jaipur and Targi are both, yes. And the Holmes and Watson, Holmes and Sherlock game.
As far as tension, I would think Hanaka
Noji is...
Hanamakoji.
It's great.
I think it's Hanamakoji. You know what we're talking about.
It's the one where you have the pretty ladies, and you're trying to entice them with gifts.
The geishas.
Yes.
And
trying to win the favor of the geishas, which is not, wow. Why didn't we do Hanaka Noji with Yokohama? We could have kept a nice Japanese themed podcast.
Yeah, we could have.
But instead we
forget.
Jaipur.
Well, because I had a new game that I just bought that I could understand for once.
And it was a good game.
Cosmos.
It was worth the wait.
2-player by Cosmos. I bought a pre-order on Cool Stuff. They send out Andreas Steiger. Ever heard of him?
Never heard of him. Sounds German, though. Maybe that's why they had the German version.
Cosmos kind of does 2-player stuff, though.
They do.
Lost Cities, they got a bunch of other things that I don't have in my collection. But so, speaking of which, I'll put this out there. If anyone wants my German version of Targi, get in contact with us.
If you're German, how about that? Or you speak German.
I mean, if they understand German, let me know. I'll send it to you.
Maybe they sprechen the Deutsch.
Okay.
They sprechen the Deutsch.
Okay.
What?
Deutschland?
Nein.
Is German?
No.
Don't. I don't know. I don't know German. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're doing.
But Targi,
a solid game. 2-player. If I'll keep it in my collection, but
it does feel old.
It is. It's a dated game.
It's a dated game. And if you speak German or understand German, send us an email. Send us some fan mail. But we need to verify that
we'll give you a Targi game for free.
Yeah, because you made the mistake of buying that when it was German.
That was my bad.
That was your
bad.
I
don't know how to get rid of it.
I don't know how to get rid of it. Like everybody I've tried to sell it to, but it's in German. And like, why would I want to buy a German game? It's like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to learn.
All right.
Well.
Anything else? We're at 36 minutes.
That's all the time I've got. In 36 minutes, Jason Statham, he's already killed the Meg and drove really fast away.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Him and The Rock to be off on their next adventure together. Just like me and you. I'm The Rock.
No, I'm The Rock. You're Jason.
I am?
You're Jason.
All right. Well, then we gotta go.
Thank you for listening to the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.